Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Mid-South Wrestling Television. I'm Boyd Pierce, your host, and we have a lot of exciting action coming up. The Mid-South Tag Team Champions are here in the person of Ted DiBiase and Matt Bourne. They'll be taking on the popular duo of Mr. Olympia and Iron Mike Sharp. Stagger Lee is on this week's card. Also, King Cobra takes on the Ugandan warrior Kamala. There'll be a lot of action, but you know, through the years, I've known Cowboy Bill Watts for a long, long time. In the ring and out of the ring, a fine personality, as you all know. But Bill always has time. A busy man seems like that's the one they call on. He always has time for the underprivileged children, the one that doesn't have the things a lot of us do, the blind, the people suffering from multiple sclerosis, the handicapped, a great person inside the ring and out. We're going to show you Cowboy Bill Watts and the Shreveport American Legion as they make a donation presentation to the Irish McNeil Boys Club here in Shreveport. Let's watch it right now.
Recently in Shreveport, at the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium, there was a very special wrestling program held, and the proceeds, or part of the proceeds from this program, went to aid Irish McNeil Sports for Boys, a very worthy organization indeed. And responsible for a great deal of that were the people at the American Legion. I'd like to introduce some people here to you. Mr. Jack Forsyth, who is commander of the Low McFarland Post number 14 of the American Legion here in Shreveport, and Mr. Jerry Smith, president of the board of Irish McNeil's Sports for Boys, and of course a man who needs no introduction, Mr. Cowboy Bill Watts of Mid-South Sports.
Well, thank you, Reese. As everybody knows, we tape our weekly television program at the Irish McNeil Boys Club. And watching their operation over the period of time we've been here, we've seen what a tremendous job they've done in providing a place for the young children and the teenage and older people to work out, mostly in boxing. But it's provided a place and a way of keeping a lot of kids off the street. And this place is run by public donation and funding. And talking to Jerry Smith, you know, we realized they had a need. Jack Forsyth, the post commander of the Low McFarland Post, who is the promoter of Mid-South Wrestling in Shreveport, when I explained the problem to him, he immediately took the ball and went to his committee. And they just said, let's get together and hold an event and designate the funding that the Shreveport Legion ordinarily gets from that event to the Boys Club, and Mid-South decided to come up with a gift too. And I have our checks enclosed here together, and the Legion's check was for $500, and Mid-South has donated $1,000. It makes me really proud to give this to Jerry Smith now and for Jack and the Legion Post and myself.
Bill, we'd like to thank you and Jack both for everything y'all have done for the Sports of Boys. It's been a great help to us, and we certainly appreciate this. This will go a long ways to helping some boy.
And Bill, I'd like to say it's always a pleasure working with Mid-South. As you know, Low McFarland Post 14, our motto is working for community services and children and youth.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you, wrestling fans.
A fine presentation there, and we're grateful for men such as Cowboy Bill Watts in our profession.
Well, Boyd, let me interrupt you for a second. Up to this moment, I didn't think there was anything that I agreed with Bill Watts about, but I have to admit that that's a class act. I mean, underprivileged children need all the help they can get, and that's just a real classy way to behave.
And that's the voice from our guest commentator of the week, Bob Roop. We'll tell about his qualifications later. Right now, the opening event is in the ring. Let's go for the introduction.
This event is for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, at 250 pounds from Rome, Georgia, Marty Lundy.
This event, Marty Lundy versus the orange and green-clad Stagger Lee, our guest commentator, former WAU Olympic champion and amateur great from Southern Illinois University, and also former holder of the Louisiana North American title, Bob Roop. A man with great qualification. We look forward to your commentary, Bob.
Well, thank you, Boyd. What a situation this is, you know, with the Stagger Lee. Well, that looks... Ted DiBiase swears this is a junkyard dog, and I mean, the man moves exactly like him, and DiBiase said that Mid-South is protecting the Junkyard Dog because he's supposed to be suspended for 90 days. Oh, what a move, that clothesline. Whoever it is, and it looks awful like, whoever it is very effective using a lot of the same moves. But what a situation. Like 45 minutes left, 45 days left on the time. Oh, 1, 2, 3. What a situation, Boyd.
Rick Ferreira, 1, 2, 3, and the winner, Stagger Lee over Marty Lundy. King Cobra battles Kamala, the Ugandan warrior, after this message.
This event is for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the blue corner at 238 pounds, from Chula, Mississippi, King Cobra. And at 385 pounds, now managed by General Skandor Akbar, Kamala, the Ugandan warrior.
And the warrior from Uganda, the giant Kamala. The ring is full, Bob Roop. There is his man Friday, his handler. And now the addition of General Skandor Akbar to guide his fortune. So lots of exciting action when Commander comes in, if he needs any added to what he's had the past few weeks.
Well, that's right, Boyd. You know, while he's getting that stuff off, this kind of ties in. Rumor has it that Ted DiBiase is in collusion with Skandor Akbar in taking mask off. Recently, Kamala has been taking mask off, putting him on a spear, sort of like trophies, and DiBiase is desperate to get the mask off this Stagger Lee, because if it is the Junkyard Dog, he'll be suspended for 1 year. He's only got 45 days left. Beautiful drop kick there by King Cobra. Didn't even phase. Well, the man backed up a little bit, but that's about as much as I've seen him be. Oh, another big punch. He's a devastator. He's a juggernaut. The man just keeps coming. He missed there. That Cobra's agile. Drop kicked him again. He took 1.5 steps back, kicked him in the stomach. Oh, look at that. It looks like he made him mad. Chop. Now, Cobra's notoriously hard-headed man. I don't mean just being stubborn, but he is very hard to damage, to bust open or anything in that head, and yet Kamala is just staggering him. Again, now he's going for that frontal squeeze. A lot of times he hoists men up. This time he didn't. He went again for the chop. And very little subtlety to the man. Just a devastating, straightforward attack. Caught him coming up, looked like started at the sternum, come up to the bottom of the chin. A very different way to chop. That was straight on that time. He shows a lot of variety here. Down, is he choking or putting on a pressure grip? It's hard to tell. Again, rumor has it that Ted DiBiase is in collusion through General Skandor Akbar with this Kamala to try to get the mask off of Stagger Lee, prove that it's a Junkyard Dog, and have him suspended for 1 year. Oh, he's going for that big, oh! And King Cobra had his arm bust down under. He could have broken his shoulder. Ooh, again, devastating. Ooh.
1, 2, 3.
Very impressive.
Kamala once again proves he's a vicious man, a man with a mission, and he gains a victory over the popular star from Chula, Mississippi. We'll be back when action continues after this word from Mid-South Wrestling.
This event is for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, at 256 pounds, from Tokyo, Japan, Yoshi Yatsu. And in the blue corner, at 236 pounds, from Atlanta, Georgia, a former North American heavyweight champion, Mr. Wrestling 2.
Let me just say one thing here, you know. I got one of these things a couple weeks ago. All of a sudden, I've got another one. I just want to take up a minute of your time here. And it says here, Mr. Wrestling, this is your true color. And it's got a yellow streak down my mask. Let me tell you something right now. I don't know who you are, but you are messing up my life, my family, and I don't like it. You're stepping on my toes, pal. And let me tell you something right now. If you got any guts, come on out of the closet. Quit sending such goofy stuff as this and do it yourself if you think you're man enough.
Well, you, of course, can see how Mr. Wrestling 2 gets upset about something like that, and you can bet something is going to happen.
Rick Ferreira calls for the bell. Bob Roop reaches about in his right. A man really upset behind that mask. Mr. Wrestling 2 against the Japanese star from Tokyo, Yoshi Yatsu.
Well, I don't know what he was talking about there, Boyd. Apparently somebody's trying some psychological warfare on him, which that's one way to attack an opponent, and he's hard to attack from the front, let's face it. What a record the man has. In early going part of this match, ooh, backdrop, cut him right off, took that 270-pound Japanese Olympic team member. He didn't do that, and Yoshi went for a, looked like a side kick. Wrestling 2 has that agility. One last comment about that last, nice hit through, about that last match with the Stagger Lee. Ted DiBiase has gone on record claiming that Charlie Lay, Mid-South, Grizzly Smith, that everybody knows that Stagger Lee is a junkyard dog. But Grizzly Smith told me, he said, hey, when they asked who the grappler was, who Grappler 2 was, and who was the man in the gorilla suit and all that, and it couldn't be proven until the mask actually came off. So the same applies for Stagger Lee. If they can take the mask off, it's a junkyard dog. He will be suspended. Anything he won in the interim, any matches, any titles, or anything else will be forfeited. But it has to be proven. That's the standpoint of Mid-South, Charlie Lay, and Grizzly Smith, and Ted DiBiase is just stuck crying sour grapes. Again, back to this match. Wrestling 2 has been putting it, as you've been watching, has really been putting it to this Japanese star. And his Wrestling 2 strength is deceiving. You saw him pick this man up. This Japanese wrestler, beautiful high knee, a short knee. Caught him coming back again. Looked like it was in the ropes there. The audience going crazy. Oh, there it is. Kamala's on the scene now. Referee calling for the bell.
Kamala calling for the bell. Kamala is in the ring.
He's attacking Wrestling 2 with those big chops. Attacking him, going after him. The referee can't do anything. Big double chop. Goes for that splash. He's got him. He's going for the mask. Wrestling 2 has never been unmasked. This might be the first time. He's going after that mask. The audience is going crazy. He's going after that mask. I can't see from here whether it's Stagger Lee. He's in there. He's going after Kamala. Big punch. That big forearm. The thump. The thump, the junkyard dog thump. Stagger Lee nails the man Friday. Up. I don't believe it. Kamala's up. He's up from that thump. He caught him with a double trap. Caught him again. Splashes him. He's got him. He's going after the, is he going, he's chopping. Big slam. Goes for the splash. Stagger Lee moves. Wrestling 2. Mr. Olympia's on the scene. Big drop kick. Kamala got hit with a thump. A big punch, a drop kick. He's on his feet again. Is this man indestructible? He got hit by Wrestling 2's knee, the big thump, a drop kick. He's facing all three of them, three of the top stars in professional wrestling today. And, oh, there's so many questions here. What is going on? Did he come down on his own? Did he go after that mask? Did Akbar send him? Rumor has it that Ted DiBiase is in collusion with Akbar to try to get the mask off Stagger Lee. Everybody knows that this man Kamala's collecting mass. Did he go on his own?
And as we try to calm things down and get our wits together, Bob Roop, we'll pause and be back with more action after this message.
It's tag team action now in a non-title event for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, the Mid-South Tag Team Champions at 268 pounds from Omaha, Nebraska, Ted DiBiase. And his partner at 240 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, Matt Bourne. In the blue corner at 243 pounds, the Mississippi heavyweight champion, Mr. Olympia. And his partner at 278 pounds from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, Iron Mike Sharp.
Talk about action getting out of hand. It's been hot and heavy, and I can't see it slowing down any in this match. The Mid-South Tag Team Champions, Ted DiBiase and Matt Bourne, taking on the dynamic duo of Mr. Olympia in the ring and his partner on the outside from Canada, Iron Mike Sharp. Bob Roop, it's going right on along.
It's going from the frying pan into the fire, which is, look at that move. It's been, this audience is going crazy out here because it's been nothing but heat in the last 5-10 minutes here. This match, look at the agility of these men, current Mid-South Tag Champions against one half the former champions, Mr. Olympia, plus the former Louisiana champion, Mike Sharp. You don't get matches like this on television anywhere in the world that I've been. Plus that last situation, I call it a match, but that was a situation. You talk about questions being raised. Kamala on his own, working for Akbar. Is Akbar maybe the one that is doing the provocation of Wrestling 2, that Wrestling 2 made that Fury speech about? Is Akbar the one behind that? Did he send Kamala? All those questions. Plus, Kamala went for Wrestling 2's mask, but I noticed he only hit him with one of those big splashes. Usually he uses two of them. If he had used two, could he have gone ahead to beat the man like in a regular match and go ahead and take his mask off? A lot of questions. Ted DiBiase and Mike Sharp. Ted DiBiase had an advantage and lost it. Again, ooh, and he's losing it again fast. Mike Sharp hammering him. Big, big, strong, both of them. Mike Sharp, oh!
The champions both retreating out on the cement floor.
DiBiase and Bourne qualified for flying license after that one, Boyd. That Mike Sharp has got the back. He could probably get under and lift that ring up. A very, very strong man. He got underneath those men, got underneath their center of gravity and just hoisted them up in the air. A very effective move when a man's charging right at you is to get underneath him. And if he comes down on the top of his head outside on the concrete floor, that's too bad. In this case, the champions are having it put to him right now. DiBiase trying to regain control. He is leaving himself open to be exposed to Mike Sharp's strength by staying out in front of him instead of getting in a lateral position. And and you know that Olympia has got some serious payback in his heart for both these men, especially for Ted DiBiase. These men have tangled back and forth, both of them trying to prove they're the better man, and never has been truly decided. Ted DiBiase's caught carrying the hardware, but Mr. Olympia has not been made a fool of. Look at just like that. Now he made a fool out of them because he was looking like he was easy money, and as Bourne came in and went to attack his head, he just slipped into a beautiful arm drag and went right over and tagged out, bring a fresh partner in. Matt Bourne, very impressive competitor, but he hasn't had a chance to get on track yet. Well, of course, DiBiase hasn't either. So there could be an upset in the making here. Bourne went for a lateral punch, the side of the head, looked like it missed from here. Goes again. Oh! Mike Sharp in his own way, is an effective, I mean, I'd call him Baby Huey, the big, strong, the man is something, there's nothing babyish about him. He's an all-man. Oh! He's even getting the man outside the ring. Well, now DiBiase's using some brains here. From what I can see, he pulled him back in the corner, probably using the tights, and gave Bourne just a couple seconds to get a couple punches in. That was enough. One punch, dropped a big knee, right, looked like to me like right across the front of his forehead. DiBiase now keeping that pressure on, 275, 80 pounds, coming down right across the thorax, the throat area. And this has got to have its detrimental effect on Mike Sharp because he's carrying his own weight. It's one problem with a big man. Once he gets on a downhill slide, he's not only carrying his own weight, he's carrying his opponent's. And right now they've knocked the gas out of him. I'm not saying he's tired. I'm saying that the spark plugs are not firing right now. The gas is still there, but they've got him stunned. Well, Mike Sharp, you got to stay on him. If you give him, he's so strong, and he's got such an instinct for wrestling that if you give him a second, now again, they doubled up on him, which was smart, got him back in that corner. DiBiase gave him time to tag out. Now they really had an offensive against him, and look at this. They tired themselves out trying to beat Mike Sharp, and now Mr. Olympia's in there, and he is putting it to him. What a match. DiBiase double slam, DiBiase, then Bourne. Another back body drop. DiBiase has taken a lot of punishment, but that's why he's a champion. He can take it. In that case, reversal on a whip into the corner. Came out. Apparently they knocked heads. Both men slow getting up. The referee counting both men. Bourne starts into the ring. The referee stops him. Here comes Mike Sharp. Oh, he was drawing him in. He was drawing him in, Boyd. That's an illegal move. Bourne came off the top rope illegally. Referee didn't see it. Good move. And gets a 3 count. DiBiase recovered, crawled on top, got a 3 count.
They wanted the victory any way they could get it, legally or illegally, and they justified and gained that victory for the Mid-South Tag Team Champions. We'll be back after this message from Mid-South Wrestling. We promised you last week that we'd show you a match originating from the beautiful Sam Houston Coliseum in Houston, Texas, between Popper Chavo Guerrero and Hangman Bobby Jaggers. We're going to do that now, courtesy of Channel 39 in Houston, Texas. The narration by the Dean of Wrestling Commentators, the distinguished Paul Bosch. Let's watch it right now.
That bell sounds, and the familiar figure of Chavo Guerrero, a foremost favorite here in Houston and all throughout the South and Southwest, as he is on the West Coast. And missile with those drop kicks. This is a 1-fall, 15-minute time limit match, and Bobby Jaggers, who hails from Dunlop, Kansas, 265-pounder, trying now to rough Chavo Guerrero into submission, but Chavo knows all the answers. Man who comes up the hard way, a wrestling background, not only as an amateur, but in the matter of wrestling under his father's tutelage from the time that he was old enough to stand. His father, Gory Guerrero, one of the greats of more than a generation ago. Swift move by Chavo Guerrero. There's the bend and the turn and arm stretch for Chavo. There's a rollout by Bobby Jaggers, and he managed to catch Chavo right by the head. Good move when you make it right. When you don't, you're liable to get into more trouble. So Johnny Martinez is the referee for this battle. And as Chavo manages to make short work of the problem of being in a side headlock, he knows that he's got to win a match and not just survive punishment. double wrist lock. It's well applied. You can see that arm going up there as Chavo puts on the pressure. And Bobby's effort to minimize it is textbook standard. He's being offered the opportunity to do anything that he wants. And Chavo, well-applied foot, I might say, and for a good reason. So Jaggers, his arm caught. It minimizes his movement, keeps him in trouble. There is a driving elbow into the head, and we've got Chavo Guerrero catching not only the side headlock, but a fist right alongside the eye. But here's a man who has held the world's junior heavyweight title. Man who won it not in Mexico, but he won it in Japan and defended it in many parts of the world. And right now he's in trouble. He's up against a top class heavyweight, a man who can wrestle but doesn't always take the time to, and applies rough and rugged measures. And Chavo is caught in a squeezing reverse chin lock. As Chavo tries to move out of the grip, we were able to detect the fact that he jerked him by the hair. It wasn't visible to the referee. He was around performing the rest of his duties and checking something else, and he couldn't see that the attempt at a bridge was broken by jerking him down by the hair. And again, Bobby Jaggers sneaked under there, snatched him down, and slammed him against the deck. Referee asking Jaggers if he jerked him by the hair, and Jaggers did not admit it. Trouble. That much weight, 265 pounds, falling in there, laying a knee right alongside the jaw is a tough thing to withstand. So Chavo is stunned, and as he falls victim to the flying mare, you see Johnny Martinez checking to make sure that it's not a chokehold, and you see a pleased look on the face of Bobby Jaggers as he puts the squeeze in there and in some way attempts to turn it into a semblance of a sleep hold. The pressure is there. There again, jerking him down by the hair, taking a grip, and as Chavo reaches from underneath, you see what's happening to Chavo. He was doing that out in the open, and the referee made him break the handful of hair. So we've got Chavo looking for a soft spot, and again he is jerked off his feet by an illegal move that he should not be able to use, and whether he could take Chavo down with the application of that reverse chin lock is doubtful. 5 minutes have gone by. Jaggers again staying in close, bearing down on Chavo Guerrero. Chavo again goes elbowing into the midsection, looking to lay it in. Shoulder butt, hit hard, and he was hit hard in return. Good move by Chavo. He lay there just long enough to encourage Jaggers to go up in the air, and then got out of the way. There's monkey flip, and over he goes. And Jaggers landed hard enough that time to put an end to this match. Chavo trying to set him up. And down. I told you about those well-aimed feet. The first move of the match was the drop kick. And he goes up for the victory roll and rolls him down into trouble. And there it is. That reverse head scissor. Chavo Guerrero up in the air. Chavo Guerrero twisting and turning to get him down and pin him to the canvas. Jaggers is complaining that it was a 2 count, and these fans here know that that was a 3.
There you viewed the match and heard the commentary by Paul Bosch from Sam Houston Coliseum in Houston, Texas, between Chavo Guerrero and Bobby Jaggers. We'll have more action coming up here on Mid-South Wrestling. It'll be the Pauper Girl Stars, Princess Victoria versus the star from Hawaii, Lalani Kai. We'll see that action after we pause from this brief message from Mid-South Wrestling Television Network.
And now we have the girls in action. This event is for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the red corner from Pearl City, Hawaii, Lalani Kai. And in the blue corner, all the way from Victoria, British Columbia, Princess Victoria.
The girl stars, many of you have written wanting to know when their appearance, and we're showing them right here on Mid-South Wrestling from Hawaii, Pearl City, Miss Lalani Kai against the little Indian princess who has more hair in her pigtails than I have on my head, Princess Victoria. Bob Roop.
Well, again, Boyd, as you mentioned, Lalani Kai from Hawaii, she is, I was talking to her before the program today, and she was formerly one half of the World Tag Team Champions and at one time held the USA Women's Belt, which she won in Puerto Rico from Ann Casey. Princess Victoria from Victoria Island, in Victoria, British Columbia, an Indian girl with a long Indian tribes throughout the world have a long tradition of wrestling. It's always been one of their sports. You know, just a comment here, Boyd. Years ago, people said, women wrestlers, ooh. Or I should say, they said women wrestling. But now today I keep reading in the sports paper about women playing football, women boxing, and of course for years there's been women jockeys, which jockey, believe me, getting run over by a horse 2 or 3 times. Robin Smith was crippled, and so these are sort of contact sports that women are now getting into, that the mainstream of American women, and yet these there's been women wrestlers for several decades now, and so you'd have to say in this case, for all you people out there that might have questioned this, you'd have to say that these girls are progressive because they want to be athletes, and there's been very few avenues offered for women other than badminton or ping pong or shuttle tennis or something like that. And in the contact sports, like a few years ago, there was Women's Lib for equality, and of course, although that amendment to the Constitution did not pass, women have wanted to be equal, and this is a case where they get a chance to prove it. Again, okay, to the match itself, Lalani Kai is certainly showing not a great deal of femininity in choking her opponent, and a big foot to the midsection. I think that this woman wrestler could probably beat a lot of men out there her own size. So full body slam. Princess Victoria is definitely taking a pounding right now. Ooh, flying wedge. That looked like Hacksaw Duggan's head spear, but it wasn't the same thing. She hit her with her forearms, but that takes a lot of agility. I mean, Hacksaw Duggan, of course, is well known as a man who doesn't care about his own personal health, but again, when you think about lady wrestlers, I think you better leave out the idea that they're inoffensive and harmless, because they're not. Now Lalani Kai got a little bit too careless there and gave the Princess Victoria a chance to block in that turnbuckle. Ooh, that chop lifted Lalani Kai completely off her feet. Full body slam, she's paying her back now. Got a 2 count. Now, Princess Victoria seems to be content at this moment to just put stress and strain on her with that front face lock. Now that's a nice move. Pinning combination. That's as smooth as I've seen anybody do it. Hook the leg on the way down. That's a move that takes a lot of training and agility. Now, Princess Victoria, as you can see, she gave Lalani Kai too much time. She should have moved in closer to the ropes, but that's a mistake anybody makes. Leilani Kai went for the body slam. Victoria went behind. I think that Leilani Kai has she definitely has more body weight. I think she's stronger too. She was able to hold on to those ropes without any trouble at all. Body slam, looks like she's going for, she's up on that second turnbuckle. Oh, she gave her too much time. She came crashing down on her abdomen. That had to hurt. Princess Victoria waiting for her. Full body press off the second rope. Beautiful move.
1, 2, 3, and the beautiful little Indian Princess Victoria gains a victory over Hawaiian Leilani Kai. We'll be back. Hacksaw Jim Duggan in action after this word from Mid-South Wrestling Television Network.
And now a non-title event for one fall or remaining television time. In the red corner at 270 pounds from New York City, the Louisiana heavyweight champion Hacksaw Duggan. And in the blue corner at 245 pounds from St. Joseph, Missouri, Mike Bond.
Mike Bond being introduced in the black tights across the ring, the foot-stomping star from New York State, who's been hollering in the mic in the ring, Bob Roop. I want Tony Atlas. Well, I got news for him and all you fans. Mr. USA Tony Atlas will be back on Mid-South Wrestling next week. Also, Chavo Guerrero, Gorgeous Gino Hernandez. They'll all be here next week. Right now, Mike Bond in the ring with Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Well, Duggan's doing as usual. Complete bodily assault. Look at that knee. Complete assault on Mike Bond. You know, two questions. That match with Kamala going in against Wrestling 2. Kamala got a knee drop. He got the knee lift from 2. He got drop kicked by Olympia. He got thumped by Stagger Lee. And he still got up. Can he be beaten? Second question is, Wrestling 2 did knock him down with that knee lift. If there had been no interference or if they were in a match and he hit him with a couple, 3 or 4 of those knee lifts, could he keep him down and beat him? Those are questions that arose in my mind. I mean, a lot of things happened in that match. Back to the current wrestling, Hacksaw Duggan, I think he likes to take punishment sometimes. He just seems to stand there and say, hit me. Look at him. I mean, wild man.
He likes to dish it out too, Bob.
Well, he's capable of being crafty too. His episode in the gorilla suit was a real mark of a man out to accomplish something. A real good plot. I wish I thought of it myself.
On the Suicide Squad in the past, his college career at the SMU Mustang University in Dallas, and then following it up with the Atlanta Falcons. So he's got the credentials, and he's carrying it over into professional wrestling.
Well, he's a man burning a candle of his body at both ends and maybe in the middle too, but until he burns out, whoever gets in his way is in trouble. Look at this now. Ooh, that spear, it looked like he hit Mike Bond right in the nose. 1, 2, 3. Nobody's getting up from that.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. That's Duggan, that's with 2 G's, so you can call it Duggan or Duggan, whichever way you like. A lot of time we refer to it in different manners, but it can be either way, Duggan with 2 G's or Duggan, and he makes his way to our way.
Something very wrong going on here. I'm telling you, Boyd Pierce, and you know too, Roop, Atlas don't have the guts to show his stinking face up here tonight. How come Tony Atlas isn't here tonight, huh? I want to know where that gutless worm is. I'll tell you why Tony Atlas isn't here. They don't have the guts. Next time Tony Atlas shows up in this ring, I want a match with him. You understand? Hacksaw Duggan wants a match with Tony Atlas next time he shows his ugly face in Mid-South on TV. I want him in that ring, and I'm going to tear you a new.
Now you hear Hacksaw Jim Duggan as he carried his campaign over. Earlier when he first came into the ring, Teresa Bowden, we could hear him over the ring microphone that he wants Mr. USA Tony Atlas. We've told you that next week, Mr. USA Tony Atlas will be here. Now, whether he has a match with Jim Duggan, I have no power or control over that, but he will be here next week. Popular Chavo Guerrero will return, and Gorgeous Gino Hernandez. Bob Roop, we hope that the inevitable, imminent Paul Bosch, the promoter, a long time of the Best of Texas Wrestling in Houston, will be here. We appreciate your expert commentary this week as our guest commentator. A job well done. We appreciate you sticking to the facts, not promoting yourself, not using it as a sounding board, and I know the fan at home appreciate it.
Thank you, Boyd. What a program.
And
what a
ladies
program.
and gentlemen, you're responsible for making it what a program. We thank you so much for watching us every week. We're grateful to each one of you. Until next week at the same time, same channel, Boyd Pierce saying goodbye for Mid-South Wrestling.